What's up, guys? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, please smash that like button on the video and enjoy the show. So we had said this a little bit ago, but you retired from the military in 2001, 6 weeks before 9/11. When you did that, like the second you retired, was your plan to go into contracting?
No.
Okay.
No.
So then plane hits the buildings.
Right.
Did that change for you?
Well, what happened was I wanted to start. So before I got out of the military, I'm like, okay, I'm going to retire. What am I going to do when I get out? Okay, what am I good at? Pulling triggers. And there's not a lot of need for that in the civilian world. And I'm thinking, well, what am I good at? What could I do? And I thought, you know what? I could start a security company, even though security wasn't making a lot of money back then either. An average security manager at a big bank was making maybe $80,000 a year, and that was top money. But I said, well, something's better than nothing. I want to start my own business. I want to be self-employed. So I started a security company and had a partner. We started campaigning in the nuclear security sector, private sector, and then, anyways, made ourselves known. Nothing was happening, and then 9/11 happened. And bam, the doors opened wide open for us. And before you know it, we were making shitloads of money in the nuclear security sector, doing basically hardening all the nuclear power plants in the United States.
Whoa.
Everything. I mean, all aspects of security, man. We did really well. In fact, a lot of the security apparatus, constructs that you see in that sector now was derived from my company. So much so that in 2004, G4S came along and said, hey, we want to buy your company, and I was like happy to do that because I didn't think this was going to live very long, right? But man, I could have never been more wrong. Here we are, right? Security is still a big deal. And the threat's still evolving, But I was smart enough to start a second company right away, sold it later on, 2011. So my goal was not to get into contracting. My goal was just to run a business and do security consulting. And then I got recruited by, the government at the same time.
Now, is this ground branch?
It's whatever you want to call it. And and so anyways, I ended up doing that for almost 9.5 years. And I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to do it for about a year. That was my plan, check the block. Before you know it, 9.5 years went by, and I'm like, damn, And then I mentioned that ambush earlier, the last ambush, the final ambush. I decided it's time to get out and do something different. So that's what brought me back to...
Which ambush was that?
Number 5. It was... I got ambushed one night. Basically, we got boxed in on this. It was one road down the Kunar River on both sides.
Where?
Kunar.
Yeah, where?
Afghanistan.
Okay.
So on both sides.
You didn't talk about this on camera.
I thought I did.
No.
I started to maybe. I went on a tangent.
All right.
I always do.
Tell the story.
I need more coffee.
No. You want some more?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm actually getting.
I was gonna say, I think you're about to fucking blow through that window if I give you more coffee.
No, I drank a gallon of it already. I had to, man. I haven't had no sleep since Sunday. Been traveling 32 hours on one flight from Indonesia to Manila. Anyway,
God damn.
I drove 5 hours last night.
And thank you for doing that.
That's
by
all
the
right.
way. There's a whole slip up with the airport and everything. I appreciate you.
But that ambush, the one I'm referring to, what happened was we were on a river road, small dirt road. We drove into an area that's about 7 kilometers that the Taliban owned. It was their territory.
Who's we?
My group that we were traveling with, right? Small element, and there were mountains on both sides. We were basically on the road, running along the river. You can't make a left or right turn. You got to go north or south down this road, and we had to stop. And in very short order, we heard the Taliban on the radio. They had set up ambushes on both ends of our small convoy, and they were getting ready to hit us. And then I realized, oh shit, the only way we're getting out of this is we got to run the gauntlet now. And we know they're going to hit us. We know they're going to blow us. They set up IEDs. We knew where they were. And so we made the decision we're going to turn around, run north again, run the ambush, hopefully fight through it, and then get back to our base camp. And I remember when we turned around that night, there was a total we had like 23 vehicles. And we're spread out about 50 meters each. So think about that for a minute. We're over a kilometer-long convoy, And on that road, you can only travel maybe 5 miles an hour max speed. It's just a really bad dirt road. So we turned around, and we already made contact once. So we already had casualties. Guys got shot up. So we're already dealing with that. Got the vehicles turned around, and we had called in a AH-6 Apache attack helicopter. He actually had gone back and he had reloaded, refueled, got more ammunition, came back, and we decided, okay, we're going to let him run out in front of us, strafe the road, and then once he strafes the road, we're going to start driving. As we're listening to the Taliban on the radio, because we had what's called an ICOM radio, that's what the Taliban use. So it's pretty much an open channel, and we had a couple, and our interpreters were listening to it, and they were telling us what the guys were doing. And they had actually they had changed their tactics over the years. They used to hit us from a distance, long-range ambushes. And now what they were doing is getting right up on the road, right? And then actually getting between the vehicles. So now we're in a crossfire. And they also knew that, the helicopters, close air support, can't engage them either. Otherwise, they would engage our vehicles, right? So they got a little smarter as time went on. And so we knew they were near the edge of the roads. And we knew what they were going to do. In fact, we heard them say, hey, we're going to hit this vehicle, and they got this weapon system, we're going to grab that, grab this. And by the way, this goes all the way back to the Mujahideen and the Russians. They used to do that as well. They would usually hit the last vehicle in a Russian convoy and just clean it out, because they knew the Russians were going to turn around and come back and help these guys. They're going to keep on booking. So we knew what they're going to do. And we're sitting there, and the helicopters came in, started strafing the road, and then the first vehicle left. I remember watching through my night vision goggles, all the guns open up, and the instructions were, as I gave them, I said, shoot at everything and anything a Taliban could hide behind. Open every gun system on your truck and let them shoot, right? We had guns placed in every direction. So the first vehicle takes off at a blazing like 5 miles an hour, shooting. And then the second one, and then the third one. It's like March of the Penguins, And I'm like the 15th truck back, and I got all the antennas on mine that says, command vehicle, blow this one up, right? and I'm actually driving my command vehicle, and I got, my Afghan interpreters with me. And I'm telling them the same thing. I go, dude, as soon as I start driving, I said, shoot anything where a bad guy can hide behind it. I said, don't relent until we get out of this thing. So as I'm sitting there, I'm watching the vehicles go one by one. The firefight starts. I got time to watch the show and think about it before it's time for me to start driving my vehicle, right? And all of a sudden, I thought, you know what? I've been in a lot of ambushes, but I've never actually had to deliberately drive into an ambush to get out of it. But I have no choice this time. And then I started thinking, man, what if I don't make it out of this one? I am driving the one with the antennas. And so I thought about my family. And I took the moment. I said, okay, I want to visualize every one of my children's face, everybody's face, my wife, my kids, one by one. See their face for the last time maybe. Their face, their face, their face, their face, their face. And then what I want to do is get that all out of my mind. So I'm no longer distracted by that, right? And knowing that would be maybe the last time I ever think about them or see them, Now I need to do is be laser focused on.
How much time do you take to do that?
A couple seconds. It was I just closed my eyes and thought about it, and I saw their faces, taking a deep breath, and got over that piece of it, and then started moving out. And I remember I broke the strut on the front right side of my truck, right? So now I got the wheel rubbing on the side of the wheel well, and it catches on fire. So I'm the only truck with its wheels on fire, doing 5 miles down the road, going, shoot me.
The wheels are on fire.
Yeah, because the stretch broke, because the roads were so bad, And but I lived through it, got through the other side, and we had maybe 7 trucks get shot up, a couple more casualties, but we got all the way out on the other side. Like I said, they owned about 7 kilometers of this dirt road. And I remember we're listening to the radio, and the commander's yelling at the guy that had the clacker for the IEDs, because there was a S-turn, and he had set the IEDs up in the S-turn, right, the apex there, when we knew we had to kind of slow down to come around that corner. And he never fired the IED. And the commander's like yelling, why didn't you blow up the IED? He goes, I couldn't, sir, because they were shooting so many bullets at me, I couldn't get my head up. I go, well, I guess the plan worked, And so we didn't get IED'd. We did take some shots and stuff like that, some casualties, but we got out of it. But after I got out of that, I thought, that's it. I made it. I'm done. That's it. It's all over.
That was it for that.
That was it for that. That war, I was out of there.
Right. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.